I hope you guys are having a math-tastic day. I know y'all love that. Don't even act like you don't. Today we're going to be talking about percent change. We want to figure out by what percent is something growing or lowering, increasing or decreasing. What's that percent change? How much is something growing or shrinking? So when we see percent change, it could be a percent increase or it could be a percent decrease. If it's a percent increase, my number is going from big. Andrea. If it's a percent increase, my number is going to go from small to big. From small to big. If it's a percent decrease, my number is going to go from big to small. Sometimes it's just going to tell you in the question if it's an increase or a decrease. Sometimes it's not going to be so nice, and you're going to have to figure it out based on the words in the problem. It's really important that we're trying to slow down, understand what we're reading before we go through with it. It's really nice with the formula. It doesn't matter if it's increase or decrease, it's going to be the same. If it's increase or decrease, it's still going to be the same formula. It's going to be your big number minus your small number over your original number. Your big number minus your small number over your original number. But you need to change your final answer to a percent. So we're going to have to move that decimal point not to the left, that turns it to a decimal. We're going to have to move it to the right, because we're trying to change it into a percent. So when we're going through these problems, I listed out the steps for you. The first thing that we're going to have to do, like we said, is determine. We have to figure it out. Remember, that was one of our words from a few weeks ago. Determine. We have to figure out if it's a percent increase or a percent decrease. Is my number getting small to big, or is my number getting big to small? That helps us if we figure out if it's an increasing or decreasing. Because if it's an increase, that means I'm starting with my small number, and my small would be my original. But if it's a decrease, that means I'm starting with my big number, and my big number would be my original. Again, we just have to read the question and see what it's asking us. Then we're going to put the numbers in the formula. Again, big minus small over original, and then solve. Don't forget step number 4. We have to turn our answer into a percent, because we want to know what the percent of the change is, not the decimal form. Turn the answer into a percent. So if we have a decimal, we move it to the right, and then add a percent sign. Move your decimal to the right, add a percent sign. And then we're going to want to round to the nearest percent if we need to. We typically don't like to see percents or decimals in our percents, so we're going to round to the nearest percent, the nearest hundredths. Okay, there's the steps. That's what we need to do. Now let's do it. This first question says, what is the percent change from 5 to 15? The percent change from 5 to 15. So first, we need to figure out, is this an increase or a decrease? 5 to 15, is that an increase or a decrease? Yeah, that's an increase. So that means my original number is going to be my small number. So 5 is going to be my original. I'm going to put an O around it so I remember that's my original number. Now that we've done that, we can put our numbers in our formula. So I need big minus small over original. What number is bigger, 5 or 15? 15. So I need to do 15 minus 5 over my original, which we said it went from 5 to 15. From 5 to 15. So that means that my original number, I started with 5. And now we solve. What's 15 minus 5? 10. And then I keep my 5 on the bottom. And then I do 10 divided by 5. What is 10 divided by 5? 2. If you don't believe me, I put 10 divided by 5, and I get 2. Are we done? We solved. No, we cannot forget. We cannot forget step number 4. That's the biggest part. If you give me this answer, it's not wrong, but it's not all the way correct. We need to turn 2 into a percent. Like we said here, we move our decimal point to the right, to the right. Where is our decimal point at here? Remember, if there's no decimal point, it's invisible. It's at the end of my number. It's at the end of my number. So now I move it to the right, fill in my zeros with my percent sign. So that percent change would be a 200% increase, a 200% change. Yay! That's it. We're done. Let's move on to another one. If you feel comfortable trying this on your own, go ahead and do it. But we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together too. If you do it on your own, make sure you check back with us to see how you're doing. Okay, this next one says, what is the percent change from 44 to 11? So think to yourself, don't put in the chat. If I'm going from 44 to 11, is that an increase or a decrease? That's a decrease. I'm starting off with 44, and then my number goes down. My number goes down to 11. So my original number is 44. I'm going to put an O around it to help me remember. So now we need to set up our formula. What's my big number here? 44 minus my small number, which is 11. Divide by my original, which remember we started at 44 and then moved to 11. So my original is 44. And now solve. What's 44 minus 11? 33 over 44. You might be able to do that in your head, but if not, that's okay. If not, that's okay. Let's type it in the calculator. 33 divided by 44 gives me 0.75. Are we done? No, we're not done yet. We need to turn that 0.75 into a percent. Not the Beyonce way, we gotta go the other way. So we move our decimal to the right, add our percent. So here we see that is a 75% decrease. 75% decrease. Any questions? Comments, concerns, type them in the chat. If you're ready, we're going to go ahead and move on to the word problems. Those are a lot of words. That's a lot of words. But remember, the only things we really need to pick out, which is my original number, and what are the other two numbers I'm trying to work with, okay? You got this. It's okay. Don't get intimidated by the words. So, we see here it says the original price. Oh, it even tells me here what my original is. My original price of the TV was $200. Oh, I can throw that really easy into my formula. If it's the original price, where does it go? On the top or the bottom? Original price goes on the bottom. It had been marked up. Mark up tells me that this is going to be an increase. This is going to be an increase to sell at $420. That's my other number. What was the percent increase for the TV? So this is kind of the opposite that we did with markup and mark down. Now they give me the numbers. Now I'm trying to work backwards and find the percent. So we've got our two numbers. What's our formula again? All right, y'all know the formula. Go ahead, solve this problem all on your own. I'll check back with you in just a few minutes. Put an X in the chat when you're ready to go over the problem. Put an X in the chat when you're done and ready to go over the problem. Okay, you guys should get 110% for your markup. The new price is the 420, that bigger price, big number minus small number over original. So $420 minus 200 over 200. I subtract and I get 220 over 200, which divides out to be 1.1. And then I turn that decimal into a percent. So I get 110%. We've got one more problem we want you to try on your own. One more problem we want you to try on your own. Again, I'll read it to you, but then you solve it on your own. It says, a pair of shoes were priced for $110. They are on sale for $77. What is the percent of the sale? Pause the video. Go ahead and try it on your own. Put an X in the chat when you're done. Okay. So here, my shoes were priced for $110. That means that's my original price because now they're on sale. Now they're cheaper. The price has gone down for $77. So I need to subtract my 110, big number, minus small number over original. Again, if my shoes are on sale now, that means they used to be more expensive. They used to be that bigger number. So my bigger number, my original number, is 110. I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm going to do 110 minus 77, and I get $33 divided by 110. So I'm going to do 33 divided by 110, and I get 0.3, like Beyonce tells us to do. We're going to move that decimal point. Oh, wait, like she doesn't tell us to do. We're going to go backwards, the opposite way, to the right. So you should get that that's a 30% discount, a 30% sale. If you have questions on any of that, please let us know. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get into some more practice. Y'all are our little mathletes, and we love you.